Look, if you had one shot, or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted.
We are back here at the station. Beyond the Box Score. We just talked some Madai sports. Now it's time for Super Bowl 51. And what happened? What happened?
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Falcons. Come on, man. Matt Ryan, I feel bad for you, bro. I really feel bad for you, man. I really wanted you to get a title. I think you deserve one. And to blow a lead like that and then give your one to this man's fifth, man, my heart hurt a little bit for you.
I just want to say I was wrong with the prediction, but I was relatively close with the scoring prediction.
That's another thing. Close. I've never regretted picking the Patriots so much in my life. Now that I think about it, because I picked them to win, I was the only one to pick them here. I wish I didn't, considering what happened in that circumstance.
I
mean, if they would have won in an evenly matched game throughout, okay. But the fact that the Falcons had a 25-point lead at the end of the third quarter.
You could just never count out the Patriots. You can't.
You can't.
I mean, we were watching it, everybody saying, oh, this game's over. It's like, no, relax. It's the Patriots in the Super Bowl. You can never count them out.
And it went completely against what I said, too. Like last week, I was like, I think a lot of it comes down to who scores first. And I said if the Falcons get out to a couple score lead, they're going to win. And they didn't. They got out to a 21-0 lead.
I mean, I guess you could say I was relatively close with anyone. I said it was going to depend on the defenses because New England's defense could not stop Matt Ryan and company in the first half. And then come the fourth quarter, Atlanta looked like a completely different team on defense from the first three quarters. They completely fell apart. They couldn't stop Brady. They couldn't stop James White. They couldn't stop anybody. It was a completely different game from the first three quarters and then the fourth quarter and overtime.
Well, their offense looked completely different, too. And it's because they got complacent and they tried to slow the game down.
I wouldn't even say that.
But they did.
They only ran the ball in the second half. I think they only ran the ball 4 times.
I don't know how Matt Ryan only threw 23 passes.
Are you calling me a liar?
I'm not
calling you a liar. They also didn't have the ball for an hour and a half.
Yeah, that is true. When they first got the ball in the second half, they did not have the ball for an hour and a half until they got the ball back to start the second half.
That's true. Can we just eliminate the halftime show?
Yeah, I didn't even watch it.
Because I feel like honestly I feel like it has an effect on the game when you.
It can slow momentum down. I think
Super Bowl lead 21-3 at halftime, and you have to wait an hour and a half or however long you have to wait, an hour probably almost. Your whole momentum just goes down back flat to where it was.
At least make it a good halftime show. Lady Gaga did not outperform Bruno Mars last year. Sorry. Was Bruno Mars last year? Mars.
I don't know, but Bruno Mars is a G, so he should probably definitely.
I think Bruno Mars was last year, wasn't it?
Don't ask me. I don't watch those shows.
Yeah. No, we were watching it together. I remember that because we were daddios.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Always
anyway.
No, but besides, all right,
Kyle.
Just I understand that. We all picked. Well, you were watching with buddies, but me and Connor were watching in a venue where there was a lot of people around and a lot of noise. But even looking and thinking back to the game itself in the second half, aside from the highly documented Edelman catch, which we'll get to next, shade to Tyree 10 years later, real game changer. Honestly, name me a huge yardage gain play that Brady and his team concocted. It was just, I feel like to me, thinking back, it was just a systematic, classic Patriot way approach of just 10 yards here, 8 yards here, you got 13 here, and all of a sudden, the Falcons are looking up, and it's a one-possession game, and they don't know where the heck it went to, because you don't see the 54-yard gains. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in my own memory of thinking of that game, I can't think of one huge play that just sunk the hearts of Falcons fans. It was just here. They know what they're doing. They're not gonna go overboard and have a pick downfield or something like that. They were just playing it safe, playing it smart. Yeah, and shoving that right down Atlanta's throat with just a smart, systematic, regimented process.
And about that systematic process you just mentioned, that might be what teams are going to be looking to moving forward. Lately in the past couple years, we've talked about how the emergence of mobile quarterbacks and fast-paced no-huddle offense has been kind of coming about in the NFL, coming from the college game. But now after seeing that, I feel like more teams might try to go back to the Patriot way. I mean, the teams that have tried the mobile quarterbacks and have done the no-huddle, they haven't had much success yet. So, I mean, I didn't really think about that till now, till you said that, and think about how that Patriot offense worked. I mean, they didn't go no-huddle.
It's boring.
Yeah.
I'll give it to, like, the average fan will get bored because you don't see the bomb downfield. But it's not boring to the people on the field because they know that, hey, we're trusting this process. Shout out Joel Embiid. But, I mean, they know they're good. They know how to execute plays, and it doesn't have to be the big, sexy 45-yard plays downfield to Hogan where he makes a circus catch or the Edelmans of the world. It's just a little bit here, a little bit there, and it all adds up in a short amount of time the way Brady gets that ball out, too.
And a lot of it might have to do with the experience from both Belichick and Brady and the other guys on the team.
Yeah.
And the guys I was watching it with on Sunday, a lot of them were saying they're arguing over whether experience mattered, and a couple of them were like, experience doesn't matter. I think it does.
I beg to differ.
I think experience that's what won the Patriots that ball game.
You want to look back, and Atlanta not only got complacent, I think they got shell-shocked.
Yeah. They didn't know what to do when they're up that much.
And New England
they're all
did.
Young. Yeah, New England know what to do because
maybe not to ever that
years.
extent in the Super Bowl, but they knew what to do and they knew how to go about executing that comeback the way they did.
They've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
I mean, that's number 5.
It absolutely plays a role. When you're there for the first time, and the first time in franchise history since, 98, 99, there's a lot of weight on that team's shoulders.
Yeah. And for Matt Ryan, I mean, he didn't look, at least in the first half anyway,
unfazed.
He looked very unfazed, and he was playing it like he's done it all season. That's why he was the MVP. Then that second half, I feel like, I don't think he got complacent, like I said. I just feel like overall,
it's a different animal.
And the coaches.
It's a different animal, no matter what sport you're playing. Those final few minutes of a drive, those final few minutes, goalie pulls in hockey, you got to have that execution to shut down a game. Baseball's the same way. Like people don't believe the ninth inning's a different animal. You have to have a certain amount of brain power, mentality, a lot of fine execution to be good to close out games like that. And on the biggest stage in otherwise a United States holiday, what was the word? Experience. Experience definitely plays a role in how you systematically go about shutting down a Super Bowl, especially when you have the stranglehold that Atlanta had. The execution's got to be better.
And what's scary is Brady still wants to play for another 3 to 5 more years.
And what's scary is the way he's looking right now.
He could win like 5 more.
Okay.
Stop. He's going to have both of his hands covered in rings.
No, if
by the
he
time he's
wins another one, I'm done. Not really, but
I'm just going to stop watching football.
Probably not.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way that's going to happen.
On my end, but
all right, more impressive. The comeback by the Patriots or the guy who stole Brady's jersey. Did you see that?
I did not.
Somebody stole Tom Brady's game jersey.
Like on the
Where
field
from?
after the game?
From the field?
Yeah.
Like off of him?
Yeah, well, I'm guessing what happened is when he took it off to put on the Super Bowl champion shirt, somebody just took his jersey.
Maybe it was
there's a video of him talking to Kraft when they're celebrating in the locker room, and you hear him say, "Somebody took my jersey." And then I saw a picture. I don't know if it was real or not, but it was a report. I want to say it was. I think it was Ian Rappaport tweeted it out, and somebody put the picture on Instagram saying, "We took Brady's jersey." And it's just 2 guys holding up a game jersey.
Maybe it's the guy who also stole Atlanta's playbook, and this guy in years is just going to come out with Brady's jersey, the Falcons playbook. Maybe
it's a lot of money on eBay.
Yeah, this guy's going to be famous.
And that's what Kraft told me. He said, "Well, keep your eye out on the internet to look for it."
Exactly. The internet's everything these days.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it was.
I can't believe you never heard that.
I did not see that.
I
really
briefly saw it. I think scrolling today. I didn't think much of it. Honestly.
That was a
That's
joke.
hilarious. All right,
Hoax.
so we were talking about this earlier. You agreed that Tom Brady should win the MVP, correct?
I mean, it's hard. I don't know. It's hard not to give it to a man who broke the record for passing.
I agree,
yards in
it's
the Super Bowl.
hard,
He
but
threw 62 passes.
For James White to come out there and have 4 total touchdowns,
yeah,
I
I would have made a case for him to get it.
that's what I'm doing. I mean, I'm I'm not saying, he should have had it for sure. I'm just trying to make a case for him. I think he played an outstanding game. And like you said, I think that's the Patriot way, too. I mean, in crucial games like that, I think they just make that game based around a certain player when it comes to crunch time. Guys you wouldn't expect, like we talked about in Pittsburgh, it was Hogan. Nobody expected Hogan to go out there and catch for 150+. Nobody really expected James White to go out there and have 4 touchdowns and have over 100 yards rushing and receiving, I believe.
I don't know. He had 29 yards rushing.
Or 29 yards rushing. 110 yards receiving. Yeah.
4 total.
But still, 4 total touchdowns, and to have the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah.
I don't even think Vegas had that.
I would have put money on Bennett.
Martellus Bennett almost
Yeah,
did.
we were talking about Bennett. Yeah.
That ball in the end zone that ended up being a pass interference.
Yep.
Yeah.
He caught that, then the game's over too. But, I mean,
Crazy,
that's also a
crazy
cool
weekend.
story though. Martellus Bennett though. I mean, I'm a little happy for him. He's kind of, I don't know, maybe not. He's kind of on that side where he's one of those hothead guys. But I watched the thing on the Bennett brothers the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's the younger one out of him and Michael, but he got drafted first. And he was making the most money first, but then Michael went to Seattle and obviously won himself a Super Bowl. So now they each have one. But, yeah. So Matt Ryan only threw 23 times. 284 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Brady had the pick 6. Very uncharacteristic of him. So it put the Falcons up 21-0, and at that point I was like,
Game.
this is really happening right now. The Falcons are just come out here and score 40 points and win the Super Bowl.
We were just talking about this a minute ago too. Like Brady threw or Brady had more pass attempts than Atlanta had more passing and rushing attempts.
Well, that's what. Look no further than that as to why Atlanta didn't see the ball for half the day.
My goodness.
I don't know. It's just... Oh, okay. Well, with that is... Okay, question. Is
Are you
Brady
gonna ask-
officially the greatest quarterback of all
I knew
time?
that was coming. I'm going to give you my biased decision and still say yes.
What?
You're
Biased because I hate Brady, but he is...
So it was a biased yes.
Then
You don't
yes.
want to say yes.
I don't want to say yes,
anyway.
but yes, he is the greatest quarterback of all time. I know that didn't make sense, but I was just trying to make a point.
Well,
I
he's
don't like Tom Brady too much, but I do
Well,
think he's the greatest of all
he's
time.
got 5 now. Most ever by a quarterback, and now Bill Belichick has the most.
And the
for a
most
coach
yards,
ever.
most yards passing in a Super Bowl as well. I don't know if we mentioned that yet or not.
So
Okay.
Brady broke 2 records by himself in that game. And the Pats, 3 actually, because then the largest comeback in Super Bowl history.
That's just phenomenal.
So we talked about what happened to Atlanta. I asked what happened to Atlanta. Did they get complacent? I think we already answered that.
Yes.
They, especially in the fourth quarter, once they realized that the Patriots were storming back, I think they got nervous.
Mhm.
So why Matt Ryan coughed that ball off. He got hit.
Is this what we were talking about too? Where did Falcons get out-coached by Belichick? I would say yes as well.
Yeah, I mean,
So all the factors that we were talking about pretty much
came to
happened.
life. But I'm not going to say that. Maybe Belichick did outcoach Dan Quinn in the fourth quarter. But put yourself in those shoes. You are up 28-3. How do you go about that game? How do you close it out?
It's the Super Bowl.
I don't take anything away from Dan Quinn. I really don't.
I would keep padding on, keep playing. I wouldn't have changed anything that they did in
Yeah.
the first half.
I
I couldn't spot too many differences, but it's just the defense just fell apart, and that's
the
what
defense
we
did
talked
fall
about.
apart. But
Well, can you blame them? They were playing a little bit of, out of character anyway.
They were.
throughout the most-
Yeah,
I mean, they were 25th ranked. I mean, it's a terrible time for maybe them to come down to earth.
yeah, I don't know. I
But-
feel like their defense definitely was a little underrated because the way they showed in the first half,
Yeah.
but then the second half kind of came out.
Kind of showed you
But
their true
on
colors.
the offensive side, though, that's the question. When you're up by that much, do you just play like you're still down? But at the same time, if you do that, then you risk
Well, you saw it,
turnovers.
you saw what they did
throwing balls
to
downfield,
Green
getting
Bay.
picked.
They didn't take their foot off the gas pedal against Green Bay. So
That's right, that's true.
I don't know what really changed with this one.
Maybe it's just because it was the Super Bowl. Bigger stage,
Pressure.
they got nervous. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Obviously, the Patriots and that experience of Bill Belichick just took over
Mhm.
in that fourth quarter. I mean, especially when the Patriots, it took them even down by that much. It still took them until 3 minutes left in the third quarter to score, and then Gostowski missed a field goal, missed an extra point, and at that point I'm like, it's still over.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. It just, I mean, as much as I was a little disappointed and felt bad for Matt Ryan and company, and I didn't want the Patriots to win number 5, we still watched history. We'll probably still the first overtime game in Super Bowl history.
That's a whole other discussion.
We'll get into that in a minute. We'll get into that in a minute. But we watched history. It'll probably go down as one of the greatest Super Bowl games in history, considering the team came back from 25 points down to 1 in overtime. And then the catch by Edelman. Can we talk about that for a second? We're going to talk about it. You go ahead.
What else can I say? Yeah, I mean,
karma came
it
back
is a little
in a good
karma.
way.
I mean, what was even going on in that play? It kicked off somebody's foot, kept it in the air.
Yeah, first it got knocked down by a
Yeah.
hand, and then came down, and then Edelman just reached back and
cradling
grabbed
the
it off
heck
a
out of
foot.
that ball. And I'm like, there's no shot this is a clean catch.
Yeah,
And then
I did not think it was.
And I
at all.
see the slow-mo, I'm like, well, I'll be.
You want to know what I said when it first happened?
Sure.
When the refs came in and were saying catch, all my friends were going nuts, and I'm like, I'll bet you $100,000 that hit the ground. I watched it hit the ground. Then they showed the replay in slow-mo, and I was like, crap. Explicit in there.
Yeah.
Little parentheses, but that, oh wow, that not with the Tyree catch. I mean, he pinned it against his helmet. That was crazy in itself. This time, the ball. It was a good play by the Falcons defense, and it's just unlucky because he literally hit it. What you're supposed to do on defense? He got his hand up, knocked the ball down, and you think it easily hit the ground, and somehow Edelman reached around and caught it. But
Any wind that Atlanta still had in their sails at that point, just taking it right out.
Yeah. Because when that happens, same with the Giants, and like once they made that play, then the Patriots defense has their back against the wall.
It's so deflating. You do
that-
everything right,
Yeah.
and you don't get rewarded, especially on that stage.
That's what makes it hurt a little even more.
Total crash. Yeah.
When it's not you who made the mistake, it's just that
Circumstance.
fate caught up with you somehow. And yeah, so I'm going to a quick break here.
The overtime.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to that.
Oh, we're gonna come back to the Super Bowl after the break.
Yeah, we need to come storms a blazing into what I'm about to talk about.
Yeah, are you gonna have a Stephen A. Smith rant today?
Probably.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Fuse. WMCB, here with Beyond the Box Score. We are talking Super Bowl 51, wrap up, unfolding what happened. Let's start with overtime and what happened.
This is what I get for working overtime.
Good. That was a good bit.
Yeah, attaboy.
Good 90.
Attaboy, Kyle. Attaboy. Alright. We need to talk about this overtime. So, a couple years ago, they changed the rule. So now, if the first team goes down and kicks a field goal, the other team gets the ball. But still, you have where the first team scores a touchdown, it's over. And why in overtime, in the playoffs, is it not changed? Why is it the same as the regular season? Why are the Patriots allowed to drive down the field on the Falcons defense, who already crumbled in the fourth quarter, go down and score a touchdown, win the game without letting Matt Ryan step on the field?
It's a flawed rule.
Well, I like baseball.
Somebody
Every
Help
major
me.
sport that goes overtime, besides NFL now with this new installation, the overtime, extra innings, everything stays the same. Except, well, NHL gets rid of shootouts, but
Well, that's the thing that I'm going to compare
talk
about.
about
I mean, not the NHL. I want to talk about the World Junior Classic this year. USA beat Canada in the gold game to win the World Juniors in a shootout, and that's what everybody started freaking out about. Is how are you going to decide who gets the gold medal in a shootout? And I kind of see the same thing here. Like, it's the Super Bowl, and you're not going to give the other team a shot to go down and score as well. In my opinion,
you want good TV? Keep that running.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. Give them like a 10-minute quarter and see, and whoever wins. Don't just have it go 1 and out with a touchdown, or even have them play another 15-minute quarter. I don't like that at all.
Unfortunately, you know, this being the first way that a Super Bowl has gone down.
I think it's got to be. I think it's got to be.
Especially with the new rules that have been installed in the last few years, there's always going to be a guinea pig, and there's only one way to learn from how the outcome is actually played out than actually have it happen once or twice. And this is the first time we've seen this. Unfortunately for the Falcons, it came to light on the biggest stage when they were in the Super Bowl for the first time in almost 20 years. I mean, like I said, there's no other way than to actually see it play out on the field, because you can't simulate anything else like that. And the way it was played all regular season, just when you see it on the biggest stage, you know, with seasons on the line, with rings and fingers really destined for a victory or a loss, it's unfortunate the way Atlanta took this loss, and I'm sure there's going to be some outcry from other teams and other front office management that saw the way this game ended, and they're going to be worried about their teams come the future. And we may see a rule change, just maybe just playoffs only, but it does seem very flawed and very skewed.
Yeah,
They're going to hear an outcry from here in this room.
I'm actually very surprised.
I'm outcrying.
I'm surprised that Quinn, Julio, Matt Ryan, or somebody actually hasn't even came out and said something. Especially Julio. I'm surprised that you know, a competitor like them hasn't actually came out and made a statement like that. Because usually when stuff happens like that, I mean, it's usually the players on, you know, the receiving end of, you know, stuff like that. They usually come out and start bickering about it. But I mean, I would agree with them. I think that when it comes to, you know, who's going to get a ring at the end of the night, on only being able to give the winning team one possession, or not even giving the losing team possession in overtime, I think that's ridiculous.
Could you imagine how helpless of a feeling it must have been on that Atlanta bench?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't show your whole team. It just shows your defense giving up a touchdown. It doesn't give your offense, which is the better part of your team, a chance to go out there and win the game. Or
That's like being able to walk off in the top of the ninth.
It really is.
Yeah. I said, that's why I like baseball. Both teams get a chance.
Yeah. Well, maybe the NFL should follow the MLB here, and you can't let the MVP sit there and watch his defense just give up a 75-yard drive and a touchdown, like with sitting there watching it happen. And oh man, that just made me feel more bad for Matt Ryan. He didn't even get a shot, not even a shot at it. I mean, especially the way their defense is the reason that game was even in overtime anyway. They blew it, and they had to go up a chance and blow it again.
Just insult to injury at that point.
Ugh. Guys, I'm not happy. No.
Why? Your pick came to light.
My pick did come to light, but I don't want it to at this point. I mean, it didn't really matter.
Not the way it happened.
It's not like I made any money off of it.
So we talked about it earlier. Do you see Brady playing another 3 to 5 years?
I think it's closer to 2 to 3.
2 to 3, and now that gets me into the brain buster of the day.
I see Jimmy G on there, so I'm interested. You about to hit me? What
No,
was
I
that?
was covering your eyes.
Oh.
Tom Brady, now, 5 Super Bowl for the Patriots, ever since taking over as the starter in 2001. Do you, as a Patriots, would it be wrong?
No.
You don't know what I'm going to ask you.
You're going to ask if they can trade Jimmy Garoppolo.
No, listen. Would it be wrong of the Patriots organization, or as any other organization in this league, to have your franchise quarterback who has got you 5 rings, to let him go just so you can keep your backup quarterback, so you don't have to draft another one and rebuild? Would you let Tom Brady go just for the heck of it to keep Jimmy Garoppolo, not trade him away, and let him take over right away and keep their dynasty going? Would that be wrong?
Yes, 110%.
You think so?
With the success that the Patriots have had in drafting and scouting, I mean, look what happened all the times that Brady couldn't play. I mean, you had Matt Castle. You had, Jacoby Brissett.
Lost to the Bills.
He did lose to the Bills, but was he the quarterback when they shut out the Texans?
No, it was Garoppolo. Garoppolo won the first 2 games.
Jacoby did get a win, though.
Wait, Jacoby. Wait, it was Jacoby.
Yeah. I
Because
was
he
going to
had.
say.
Yeah, Garoppolo only played the first 2 because then he got hurt.
Yeah.
He was 2-0.
So I know Jacoby got at least one win. So if you can win with Jacoby Brissett,
It's one game.
okay, but still,
And it's the Texans.
who made the playoffs?
Yeah, in the worst
This was
division.
a joke.
In
Okay, it doesn't matter.
the
I would
freaking
not
whole
let go
professional
of
sports.
Tom Brady if he wants to play for at least a minimum of 3 years. They could go out and draft a QB this year and trade away Jimmy Garoppolo and have him be ready in 3 years if Brady retires. I think there's no doubt in my mind that they can go out and draft another quarterback and have him be another franchise quarterback with the excellent management they have in New England.
But what if not? What if it takes them years and years to develop a new quarterback and they are one
Then
of the worst
thank
teams
God
in
that
East?
the New England dynasty will be put to rest. Then
Okay,
thank
well that's
God.
you as a Buffalo Bills fan. But I'm saying for the Patriots, they could just keep it going with Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, in his 2 games they won, he was 42 for 59, 496 yards with 4 touchdowns, no picks. Those are 2 pretty good stat lines. If you keep him going, the Patriots probably still go deep in the playoffs with him as.
Okay, but then here's the other thing. Jimmy Garoppolo only played 2 games. You can make the same case for Jimmy. I understand that his stat line is a lot better, and he's probably a lot better quarterback than Jacoby Brissett. But would you let just those 2 games make the future of letting go of Brady? I would not do that at all. I would keep Brady. I would like to see New England. I wouldn't like to see it, but I mean, if I was New England, I would trade Jimmy Garoppolo for a draft pick or something they could use on defense, maybe even offense, something. You can get a lot for Jimmy Garoppolo.
I know.
A lot? What is a lot?
You're
entail?
getting heated, but I was just
Any
posing
team
a question.
What does a lot entail?
Any
'Cause
team that
just on the
needs-
flip side, you're talking about a 2-game sample size, and you think you can get the world back for him.
They want
Maybe the right
they want
team?
a first and a third, and I think like teams like the Browns, the Bears, teams like that would be willing to give that up just so they can maybe find or have a good shot at having
The
a new
Browns
franchise
might
quarterback.
give up a lot, honestly. They've been looking for a quarterback. They've had 11 different quarterbacks.
They're as bad as the
and,
Bills.
Worse, they're worse. They are worse.
They are
with
much
quarterbacks.
worse than the Bills.
Oh, yeah,
than
but-
quarterback.
Bills probably number 2. But anyway, Connor, I didn't mean for you to get so heated. I didn't even pose this out. I just posed the question. You're yelling at me.
It's entertainment.
You are yelling.
Our viewers are gonna love it. I'm gonna start getting
Viewers?
fan mail.
Oh, really? Yeah, you should mail us, guys. I mean, you should tweet us, too. I put out a poll today for Beyond the Box Score. Get on our Twitter and vote, please. I asked, what was the better championship finish? Unfortunately, I couldn't fit 5 on there. They only give you 4 choices, but
What'd you leave out?
the college football championship, Clemson scoring on the final play.
Yeah,
So I had to leave that out, but
I voted Cubs.
yeah, me too. I would go with Cubs just considering the circumstance. With 2 teams that haven't won it in a combined, it was like 176 years combined. We went Game 7, extra innings. Can't get any better than that. So that was my vote.
Did you
But-
vote?
No, I didn't see it.
Other
Well,
people
would
need
you
to
have a
vote.
vote?
Get on our Twitter at the Fuse with a Z, WMCB. Vote between Villanova hitting their buzzer beater to win the NCAA tournament back last March.
It's
Yeah,
been
the
a
Cavaliers
crazy
come
year
back
of
from 3-1.
championships so far.
It's been the best. It's got
What's
to
the
be.
NHL going to bring?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What is the NHL gonna
Yeah.
bring?
Flyers.
Maybe a Game 7.
Yeah, Flyers are gonna no. We're gonna go that crazy. The Sabres will win it.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. Sabres will make it as the 8th seed in the East.
Saves Flyers.
Oh, my.
Repeat from 07?
This place would burn down.
No, 09.
Yeah.
Both, I think.
Both.
07 was the more memorable.
That would be some stuff going down in your dorm room. That'd be nuts.
We're probably gonna do a fist fight.
Oh. Royal Rumble?
Oh, I'd throw him over the top
I'll
rope.
just let Wayne Train run you down.
Yeah, Wayne Train.
But anyway, yeah, go on and vote. Villanova buzzer beater. Cavs coming back from 3-1. Cubbies coming back from 3-1. You can't vote for the college football playoff
could write it in.
championship.
You
You
could
could write it in.
you could
And
reply
then-
and write in as a vote. We'll tally those.
Very true. And then Super Bowl 51, Pat's largest comeback in Super Bowl history. So back to that question I had. I mean, Kyle didn't have much to say about it. Connor did. What do you think?
So, when are we talking about letting go of Brady? Do you have his contract status?
He's a free agent after this year, I'm
He
pretty
is
sure.
a free
After this
agent
year.
after this year. But they're saying he wants 3 to 5 more years. So
Bring him to Buffalo.
How dare you?
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
You know what? I
Like
would
Bledsoe.
Let him burn down New
You know what?
Airfield.
all right. What do you think the fan response would be if that came to light?
New
Oh,
England?
If New England let Brady go
it would be,
by some whim of circumstance in this huge galaxy we live in, Brady is a free agent. Buffalo somehow strikes a deal, and he works with Sean McDermott next year.
It would
would the last 15 years be forgiven?
It would,
Tell me as a lifelong fan,
it would
what do
be
you think the
it
outcry
would be the typical Buffalo response. Everybody in Buffalo that is a Bills fan, because there are some weird people here in Buffalo that for some reason aren't Buffalo fans, that hate Tom Brady, but once they get here, they would be praising him and bowing down to him.
Oh, yeah.
I would probably
For
be one
sure.
of them because finally we would have a good quarterback.
at age 40.
That would be like one of the NBA teams hating LeBron and him coming to their place. It would be the same thing. They praise him.
Brady will come here for 2 years,
A la
not
Cleveland.
get Buffalo a Super Bowl. He'll go back to New England for one more year and win him a Super Bowl, and then he'll ride into the sunset.
That's a gutsy call.
I'm just joking. I'm not being serious about that.
No, that's
I
recorded.
don't
That is recorded.
I don't see
It
him.
is documented.
I don't see him leaving New England.
Okay. So your answer is it would be wrong of the Patriots organization.
He's basically
Let him go to keep Jimmy
he's
G.
he's the Derek Jeter of Foxborough.
Well, yeah.
So you're saying keep him around even though he's unproductive? If he's the Derek Jeter of Foxborough? Because the last 2 years of Jeter's
think
career, he was a liability.
I think if he starts getting unproductive, management probably in both. I know it's two completely different sports. I mean, management in both organizations is kind of the same, but I don't know. It's just New England has, well,
here you go. All right, 2014, Yankees are in the playoff run. They still have Jeter batting leadoff. What if that happens and the Patriots find themselves like 6-7, 8-7, 9-8? That can't happen. That was bad math.
9-7.
That would be the end of the season. Somewhere like hovering around 500. Brady's having his worst year at age 41, but it's Tom Brady. Then what?
Honestly, then I think Brady would make that decision to retire. I don't think Brady would want to leave New England either. I think if he knows when it gets to a point where he knows that he can't be the same Tom Brady that he's been his whole career, I think he'll call it quits. I don't see him leaving New England.
Okay.
Even if it's this year, even though he doesn't want to play even though he wants to play 3 to 5 more years, I think that if New England doesn't give him an offer, I think he probably would retire. I don't think he would want to go anywhere else, unless he's.
That's crazy.
I know he's a competitor, but I don't see him leaving New England ever. Whether it's because of New England.
Nobody saw Brett Favre leaving Green Bay, but he still played 3 more years in Minnesota.
But Brett
Rival,
Favre
by the way.
also
Brett Favre also
wasn't as
retired.
good
I
as
realize
Tom
that. I
Brady.
realize that's different. Okay, I get it. I'm not lost in the sports history, but same circumstance. He wasn't as winning. He didn't have as many rings in Green Bay as Brady had in New England.
Tom Brady
But
also was
could
in
you
a
ever
club.
picture Brett Favre somewhere else, despite all the retirement controversy? And he played 3 more years elsewhere. Guys are a little more willing than you think to extend careers, even if it's with a different team.
I know the big difference.
Jimmy Rollins, I never saw leaving Philly, and he went on to a playoff series with L.A. and now he's back. Crap, where'd he go now? He was with Chicago. He's in San Fran. Somebody who knocked out Philly twice in the playoffs during their dynasty with Halladay, Hamels, Oswalt, Howard, Ali, you name it, and now he's with another rival. They had feuds with L.A. in the playoffs, and here he is.
Sports are a weird world. It's
That's
just
why we love it.
when it comes down to it, I just don't see Brady leaving New England. No matter what the circumstances are, I don't
Right.
see him leaving New England.
Fair enough. Favorite Super Bowl commercial?
I don't even remember.
I don't remember any of the commercials.
Same.
There was a lot of commotion in the room we were watching it.
There was a lot of people.
It was hard
Yeah,
to focus.
we could barely hear
Yeah.
the game.
If there was a good one, I'm sorry to commercial makers. I didn't see it. Maybe I'll see it on
The only
YouTube,
one I do
but
remember seeing is the one that I had read an essay about last year, which debuted, I'm pretty sure, in 2013 Super Bowl. The America is Beautiful Coca-Cola commercial where it had a bunch of different languages saying America the Beautiful.
Yeah.
There was a good one, heartfelt one at the end. They must have made it quick because they had like video of that Super Bowl being played, and they showed troops watching it, and their families were there. They got tickets there, and they had them surrounded by a big screen, and they saw their families. So that was pretty cool.
I do remember one about a Terry Bradshaw stain.
Yeah, that was been all over Twitter too.
It was because they like
Was that made on the fly
foreshadowed
too?
it.
Oh, okay. So
They
played
had
it.
him with
I
the
figured.
stain on live, and we were
I
like,
figured.
he's got something on his shirt, and then literally like 3 minutes later, there's
There
a
was a
commercial with him.
Yeah. That's what I figured.
That was a good one. But forget the commercials. We just watched the best Super Bowl game ever, even though we probably didn't like the outcome. But, I don't know. What do you guys think? Anything else you got today?
Nothing really. We doing Puck Chat Thursday?
You bet we are.
Puck Chat on Thursday, and in the works, MLB previews as well.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you
I'm
on that
excited for that.
when we determine a date when we want to start doing that.
MLB.
Do our version of 30 clubs in 30 days.
Chris Carter's a Yankee, guys.
Chris Carter is a Yankee. Breaking news. Chris Carter going to sign a one-year deal with the Yankees.
41 homers last year in a pretty hapless Milwaukee lineup.
Yeah, go Milwaukee. Yeah.
Yeah, go Milwaukee. That's right.
Back to Puck Chat. Claude Julien was fired as the
Yes.
Boston Bruins head coach.
They're a point out of a playoff spot.
He's the most winningest coach in Boston history.
Yeah.
Original 16.
418 wins or something ridiculous over 10 seasons, and he got the boot as they're actually kind of climbing themselves back into this hunt.
Weird move, but
Speculation.
he's been on the hot seat for the last couple of weeks,
Yeah.
a couple months actually, but he got the boot,
Maybe Marchand didn't like him because he always seems to.
and that's what I'm going to pose the question to you on Thursday: is will their style of play finally change now that Claude Julien is gone? We talked about that before. But
We did mention that. That is a good topic of
We'll
discussion.
touch more on that on Thursday.
So that's it, I think.
Wrapping up here.
Wrap it up.
Beyond the Box Score.
Talk some Madai Sports. Thank you to Coach Mike Blaine for coming in. Talking men's basketball. We got through other sports, and then our wrap up of Super Bowl 51. We gotta wait another year for Super Bowl 52.
All right, who's
you
going to be?
Who
Who's
you guys
gonna
got?
be?
I saw the crystal ball was saying that the Vikings and Colts were gonna be in it. What?
Eagles and Bills.
Two teams that didn't even make the playoffs.
Eagles and Bills.
Eagles and
Are you
Bills.
kidding me? Okay, get out.
Eagles and Bills in the Super Bowl.
I was saying
Flyers versus Sabres in the second round of the playoffs this year.
I was saying Falcons, Steelers.
Think Falcons repeat?
Yeah.
NFC champs.
I think they finally
But
won.
hold on.
What?
What if Big Ben retires?
He's not gonna retire.
There's talk to him retiring.
He's not.
Maybe he'll go to Buffalo because you can never see him anywhere else in Pittsburgh.
Big Ben, Buffalo? No. Anyway, yeah. But and then on ESPN today they have the Cowboys again as like the second team with the highest odds of making.
And now we're going to pose another question. Sophomore slump?
Dak and Zeke.
That would be their whole team. Falling over.
I hope so. I hope they go 5-11.
I know you do. I know you do.
5-11. That would make my. Oh
And
man.
all of Buffalo hopes Brady tears his ACL again.
Holy cow!
This man just won his 5th Super Bowl, and you're hoping that he.
I didn't say I did.
Yeah, I think you did.
That's a disclaimer right there.
All right.
Did I tell you when I was at the game? I went to the game when the year that he got injured, week 1, when the Bills played the Seahawks, week 1 at the Ralph. They put it up on the big board saying that
And
Brady
they-
tore his ACL, and the whole entire place exploded, singing the na 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 song.
It's
Whole entire
so-
place erupted, and
You guys sound like the Bruins.
that is
so
what
bad.
that is the definition of Buffalo and New England.
That's bad. That's rough.
That's like the Bruins chanting "flopper"
Yeah, that was terrible. When the guy was down.
when a Vancouver player
Yeah.
broke his neck.
Yep.
That's wrong.
Poke
That's-
the bear.
I'm really
That's
sad.
wrong
I'm
on
really
very
ended,
many
I'm
levels.
really sad we ended the show like that. Can you apologize or something?
Yeah.
That's
Say
just-
you're sorry.
Now I got shades of
I apologize.
broken vertebrae and oh my gosh.
That's no fun. All right, well, that's it.
Get him out of here.
We will see you next week. These guys will be in here for Puck Chat later this week. Have a good one here from Beyond the Box Score at the Fuse WMCB.